Namaste. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Empower You. Our next podcast is on navigating college admissions with clarity, insights for a smooth early start journey. Today, we are going to talk about an important aspect of a student's journey, one that can often feel overwhelming for parents as well. The college admission process. Tanu will guide us through the initial phase of exploring colleges and the basic questions and considerations we should keep in mind. Our goal is to empower all of you, my beautiful audience, with the foundational know how to navigate the admission process confidently. Tanu is our guide for today's podcast. Hello, Tanu. How are you?
Hi, Mital. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Thank you for accepting my request. And I know we've been going back and forth. Thank you for being patient with me for this long. Friends, Tanu Shrivastav is the founder of the college and school admission guidance service called Strive to Succeed. Tanu has a Master of Science degree in Food Science and Nutrition from Delhi University, India. She currently works as a faculty and board member at India International School, Chantilly. Through Strive to Succeed, she helps students and parents prepare for admissions to college, as well as specialized schools like Thomas Jefferson School, very popularly known as TJ School here in Virginia, and Thomas Jefferson School for Science and Technology, and the Academies of Loudon. In addition to her academic and counseling experience, Tanu is also an exponent of Kathak, an Indian classical dance form. She has been teaching Kathak for almost 20 years, and many of her students have earned graduate diploma certification in the art form and completed Rangmanch. Rangmanch is the culmination milestone of Kathak training. Her extensive experience working with children has made her deeply attuned to their mindset, challenges, and aspirations. Both her children graduated from TJ, and after completing a double major in full time in computer science and economics from the University of Chicago, her daughter is now working full time at Microsoft in Seattle. Her son is currently a freshman at Cornell University. And friends, both these universities are one of the best in the US and also across the world. Beyond her own children, many of the students she has guided are attending colleges of their choice, including Georgia Tech, Purdue, Virginia Tech, UVA, and the University of Florida. And with that, we're excited to have Tanu with us today. Let's dive into a conversation and explore how students can navigate the college admissions process with clarity and confidence. We are going to be talking about prepping and how children can select the subjects, college, etc. My first question would be on prepping for admissions. If you could let me know, when should students and parents ideally begin prepping for college admissions? And what are the key timelines like exams, applications, scholarships should we as parents and students be aware of?
So, the common app through which the students apply for college that opens in the senior year August timeframe. However, the preparation for this starts earlier. Definitely by beginning of junior year, you should be placed with ready to take your SAT or ACT. You should be having your resume pretty much built up and then try to fill up the gaps if there are any based on what you're planning to apply for. However, the preparation, should I say, starts way long back. Now, as a parent, I feel that, unless a child is exposed to certain things, how would they even know that this is what they want to do? I mean, so maybe see, as early as say elementary, you want to give your child the exposure to, okay, the different sports that are there. So unless they have played basketball, soccer, baseball, how would they know what do they like, right? While at elementary stage, it is just about exposure to extracurriculars. Going into middle school, along with the extracurriculars, introduction to some academic courses based on the interest of the child. If they are interested, showing interest towards maybe try to have them join an FLL team. If they are good at math, if they are sharp at that, then maybe have them join the math counts or the math Olympiad or science Olympiad or something like that. Again, based on their interest, whatever they are interested in. As far as the extracurriculars are concerned, yes, middle school also, they have their time, so they can try, keep doing the other things. As you progress in the grade level, then you have to kind of narrow down or streamline into picking maybe, say, one fine arts, one sport, something. Because obviously in high school, along with the pressure of the studies, you cannot do multiple activities. There are kids who do it, but not everyone is able to manage their time as well. And colleges also understand that. So when you were talking about the schools, so like TJ, as we said, or Academies of Loudon, which are the special schools in Virginia area, just STEM schools. So the selection for them is it's a process, right? It's a selective process. When you're applying for that, they want to see a holistic kid. When they have it all covered and they are interested in science also and they are doing other activities. However, when it comes to college, the schools do like to see, of course, that the student is doing multiple things, but they like to see consistency and focus also. That over the long time, they've been consistently doing all these activities and they've continued to do this, or this was their area of interest. It doesn't have to be all academic, of course, it has to be multiple things, but obviously academics based on what they are planning to apply. So the preparation starts long back. Then comes the planning of how you are going to be presenting yourself. And then the final high school time based on the different internships that you can take, or you can do some programs or participate in some competitions and fill in the gaps to have a good profile built up for application process.
So, two questions. One is it fill in the gaps? Is it like their gap in their studies or gap in what is expectation from a college and what they have?
Yeah, pretty much that. In the sense that suppose you were saying that you're going to apply for, say, computer science as a major, but depends on what have you done in the school, what courses did you do outside of school? Were there any activities or any projects that you were a part of that make you like sort of stand out from the rest of the kids that, yes, you did this, that shows your interest in this field?
And you mentioned about in the middle school, start introducing kids to those areas where they want to then excel in high school, then college. So like how can parents know what kind of exposure can they give to the kids in middle school?
Actually, see, this Northern Virginia area, is a highly competitive area, but the schools also at the same time have a lot of opportunities for the kids. So they have their after school clubs, they have their teams. Based on which middle school you're attending, you should be kind of just try to see around that what all is available for your child to be a part of. Some middle schools also have their model UN and debate teams. Other schools do not. So it depends on which school you're attending. And then all the clubs that are offered there. So clubs, I think, is a great way to start introducing students to after schools to the different activities.
And one question. So we speak a lot about STEM, like science and math. What if any student is good in science and math, but her or his interest could be more into art form?
Mhm.
Have you come across any student who has been excelling or interested in the art form and then gone ahead in college, which is art based?
I do have one student who potentially will be working together in future who is interested in art, but he's definitely at a younger grade level right now. So sometimes things change as you come into the high school, especially reality strikes because a lot of the kids then are like, okay, I do want to pursue this as my passion, but I need to get a college degree. And so what do I work on? However, STEM is not the only thing. There are humanities based courses too. There are kids who want to study law. There are kids who want to, go into psychology or the humanities based courses also. There is a lot of options. As I said, when you introduce your kid to the activities, it has to be based on their interests. That's really important so that for them, they can thrive and do well at it.
I think so. Like, right from the middle school onwards, you have to get more focused and not unlike the elementary, wherein we want the kids to do everything they want. But in the middle school, we should start kind of streamlining and narrowing their activities.
Mhm.
Next is factors to consider while choosing a college. So, what should students evaluate when choosing the right college? And how important are factors like location, campus, culture, class size, etc., while selecting a college?
See, college selection, we basically categorize colleges into three. There is reach, target, and safety schools. There are some schools that you would love to go to, do you have everything set for that or not?
Yes.
That is one thing. Then there are some where you think you can get in, and then there are others you're sure you'll get in. Now, all this is based on first cutoff is basically your GPA and your SAT, ACT score. So the testing that the kids do, and the GPA is like, of course, the combined of the high school. Based on that, where do you stand? That is first thing. Then the second, I think the parents and the students need to have an honest conversation regarding the finances also, because that brings down to whether it could be an in-state school or an out-of-state school, how and where are they willing to pay and how much can you afford, and that kind of financial thing. If all that is set aside, then comes to what kind of a school you think you would like to go. So there are some kids who like the NYU kinds, that it's right in the middle of the city, a happening place, and that there are lots to do around. While there are others who like the quiet peace, maybe something like Virginia Tech, that it's a university town that you just go there and it's just the students in that area. So those things also matter. Then, along with the fee structure, which is, of course, the private schools are expensive compared to the state universities. However, the class sizes vary because private schools definitely give you more focused attention, smaller class sizes, and the kind of opportunities that you get. So these are the multiple things you have to keep in mind in terms of location. Of course, your own standing, because it's important to have a realistic approach also, that where can you get in and what is your interest. Important is that what are you planning to study? Because based on that, also the colleges are ranked. It might be a great school, but maybe another school is better for the particular major that you want to go to. It also depends on that.
And you spoke about private schools. Is the preparation for private schools or state-based schools is different or the same, and even the approach?
See, the preparation is the same. When I say private schools, I'm talking of the tier one schools. It's not just the Ivies that I'm talking about, because Ivies is one group of colleges, but all the tier one schools have a lot of, I mean, like now Stanford, MIT, Duke, they are not Ivy League, but they are tier one schools. A lot of them are private schools. That's how the funding is more, and that's why they are able to offer a lot more research opportunities. However, there are a lot of state schools also, which are great schools. It all depends that which is your, again, area of it. Like for tech, a lot of kids like to go to Georgia Tech. It's a state school, but it is a great school, and it is that. And there are so many of them. UIUC is a great one when it comes to tech.
Choosing a field of study. So, how can a student align his or her interests and strengths while selecting a major at school? And if they're unsure what could be their interest, how can a student explore different majors before choosing one? And is it okay to change majors later? What does that process usually involve in the change?
See, all the universities have different colleges, right? In the sense that if you know that you are going to College of Engineering, College of Arts and Science, College of Business, if that clarity is there, then changing the major for some schools, it's not such a big problem. Once you're in College of Engineering and suppose you change from aerospace engineering to electrical engineering or something, a lot of schools allow that. However, there are some schools which have limited enrollment. So therein, whatever you say that, yes, I'm going to study this, you have to stick to that major. But for most of the schools, the major is declared almost in the sophomore year. It's not like that you have to declare it then. There is an option to even go undecided. When you're selecting that what you are applying for, you can say undecided in this school of whatever that you're going to. However, when you are writing your supplemental essays and everything, if you know and whatever you've done before, then your essays can be kind of aligned with what you're wanting to do, right? I mean, if you're preparing for a certain major, then you work through your high school years with that in mind. So the projects that you're working on, the internships that you're trying to get and apply for, or anything that you're doing, then it aligns with what you're applying for. But a lot of kids I know sometimes are not very sure. Few things that they can keep in mind is that what is their intention? Are they planning to do like a master's program later? Are they going to pre-med? Then, those kind of things lead you to deciding what major you would want to kind of apply.
If you could sum up, like, what would be the time introducing them to different kind of subjects of their interest? Is it from ninth grade or 10th grade? Like,
By
Soft
10th
start.
grade, end of 10th grade, definitely beginning of junior year or that summer between the sophomore and junior year is the time that you should actually like start getting your college list together, what you're doing and everything, because it's the junior school, junior year teachers that you ask recommendations for. You need to know that what am I going to study? Who am I going to ask for my recommendation and things like that. So yeah, definitely by that time it'll be better if right when you are entering high school you start thinking on those lines, but
Okay.
definitely by end of sophomore 10th grade would be a good time.
And how long does the whole process take? Like 6 months, 8 months? That is one question. The second is you spoke about essay writing. Do you recommend that if students should do some kind of classes?
It is both the things. You need to have substance that what you're going to write about. That's what I say preparation. I mean, unless you have a project, what are you going to write about? Suppose, I mean, again, you're applying for something in tech field. And then it's being able to write because there are word count limits. You have to be able to express and write about it in so many words. Yes, good writing skills are definitely important. And that is one thing that at even younger age from middle school onwards students can start working on. A good part is here English is all through, the students are writing, so there's a lot of essay writing involved in high school level also, which is helpful. So most of the kids are able to, but yes, if that's a skill that you're not very confident about, it's a good idea to start working on it sooner than later.
And then the whole process, like, how long does it take, right from sophomore? So the 6, 10 months project, or how big the project is of college
See, the
admission?
thing is, the Common App opens in August of the senior year, right? I mean, if most of the students start working in that summer itself, because the Common App essay prompts are out usually earlier, so they start working on that. And when they apply, usually the first deadline is around November 1st, for some of them, even October 15th. Then the regular decision deadlines are usually January 4th, 5th, and there are rolling admissions. Then by the time about say March, April, you start getting your some results, and by May 1st, you have to kind of commit to a school. Unless you've done something called ED, which is like an early decision for which the decision comes little early. So there are a lot of detailed aspects to this thing. Only when the child reaches that junior year time frame, I think that's when they really start. Now I know what this is. The school counselors start talking to them about it, and the friends and everyone. Then it's like the time to start actually thinking
But
seriously about it.
it's like 12th grade, of course, like they will be finalizing. You have to kind of start mid 11th grade or
Early 11th grade, I would say.
early they
Beginning
should
of,
start working on
because
it.
yes, most of them take their SATs or ACT right as they enter the junior year. They have to start that preparation, as I said, almost end of 10th grade.
Thank you, Tanu, for giving us all the insights. I have rapid fire questions and then you you answer them. Kathak or counseling students? What do you like the most?
Oh my God, I love both of them. Of course, I
Rapid.
mean, this is tough. uh, I think
Hmm.
Kathak, yeah, that's my passion. So
Yes.
maybe, I don't know. Because this is hard to choose.
I got you there. And then students. So while doing your college admissions during that time, more difficult, students or parents?
Who's more difficult to?
Yeah, to work with. Yeah, students or
Parents,
parents.
parents, yeah, that's.
You've been doing like counseling since many years and you've been teaching Kathak for over 20 years. Whom are you comfortable with more? Gen Z or the previous lot?
I mean, the kids are, once they open up with you, then it's very easy to work with. Actually, should say from my previous question also, same thing for parents. Once they open up with you and they're comfortable, then it's a easy thing.
Just Gen Z or the previous lot?
Gen Z, Gen Z.
Gen Z. A big thank you, Tanu, for joining us today and helping break down the admission process. We hope these insights make your college journey a little less overwhelming and a lot more manageable for my audience. Thanks for tuning in. Join our growing community by following the podcast and sending us your questions for upcoming episode. Your curiosity shapes our conversations, and we are excited to keep learning together. If you have any questions about admissions or want us to explore a specific topic, feel free to reach out, and we are here to support your journey. And if you have any questions for Tanu, please write in the comment, and Tanu will answer. Thank you again, Tanu. Bye. Take care.
Hi, thank you for having me. Namaste.
Namaste, and happy holidays to all my audience. Happy holidays to you also, Tanu.
Happy holidays to you.
Bye.